Hello again. Yes, there was a brief interruption there. I seem to have had stop recording bound to my numpad minus key, which is something I left over from a couple of seasons back when I was recording stuff. Unfortunately, the minus sign on my keyboard is also broken, so I have to use numpad minus, and I hadn't noticed that I stopped recording as soon as I finished searching at the end of the previous video. So you actually just missed my first map run, but it looks remarkably like any bit of in-game action. It's just like a location, it just happens to be in a separate area. We killed the boss, who looked remarkably like one of the previous bosses we fought before, so you didn't miss anything there either. But yeah, so that was what happened. Just going to make sure this doesn't disconnect again. Not this time. Okay, good. So we finished that and we got back here. We earned a skill point, which we have spent on our passive tree here, because we leveled up. And we're still heading towards Breath of Flames, according to our path of building. And we also got awarded because we finished that map and killed the boss, we got awarded an Atlas passive skill point, which is the new skill tree that's part of this league. And I have seen this before, but it is something else seeing it in game. This is a second skill tree, and it's not boosting your character, it's boosting your Atlas play experience. You used to unlock a limited number of these points, though they were quite powerful through obscure methods involving a particular monster and various fights on the Atlas. That's been abolished. Now you just get a point whenever you finish a map. And yeah, so that's pretty nice. So if you aren't getting enough map drops, for example, because you need items to run, you need map items to put in the machine to access Atlas maps. If you're not getting enough of those, you might take points in additional chance for connected map to drop from bosses, or one of these, like 0.5% chance for map drops to be duplicated. You know? 0.5%, but that's for every drop, ever, everywhere. So you can get a couple of percent just with a few points. I mean, that's over the lifetime of the Atlas, given the number of maps you're going to run. That was pretty good. The earliest Atlas maps are level 68 as well. We were level 64 when we went in, and we had no problems. It was a little bit slower, but no deaths. So that bodes well for this build. So yeah, that's the Atlas. I need to decide what I'm going to do with this exactly, and we also are going to be working our way through the Atlas. This is the actual Atlas of World. This is what Kirak was talking about earlier. You can't see it here, but imagine a massive connected sort of web of dots, each of which will look like this once we discover them, because this is the palace which you just went to and finished. Looks a bit like one of the temples, but it has a sort of tower, the tower boss on the end. Yeah, so in fact, yes, it looks like that bit in Act, what is it, 3, 4, maybe 2, whichever it is, when you go to the jungle and you open the big doorway, go inside through the temples and you climb up, and we found Einhar in there unexpectedly when we went through, and then you go to the top and you fight the boss and his friends who turns into another boss. It's that essentially. They're not all just straight recycles of of campaign content, but some of them are. Some of them are very new entirely. So yeah, so we've got this one, and as we explore further, we will unlock more maps, which is pretty much how it works. Whenever you run a map, there is a chance that connected maps can drop. Well, there's a chance that any map you can see, even vaguely, you have to be able to hover over it for it to drop, like these. You can see I can hover over them, so any of those could drop. The ones that are more likely to drop are the ones connected to the map I was running. So if I'm running the Palace, I've got a better chance of getting Wastepool Museum and Arachnid Nest rather than Vault, Underground Sea and Mesa. It's not necessarily that massive a chance, because you can see we got Vault and Underground Sea, but we did get an Arachnid Nest as well. So Control G, Control G. Control, Control G. Weird. Just weird. Yeah, strange shortcuts. Yeah, but there's all sorts of exciting stuff on here. You know, different League content, different special sections of the game, so we're going to customize that as we see fit, and there's stuff at the end, bosses at the end. We end up with about 100 and something odd points out of the around 400 odd that are on here. And then, yeah, we're going to explore the Atlas. These are tier 1, these are the easiest, level 68. They go all the way up to level 83, I think, is the highest map, which is, it's whatever it is about 15 levels higher. It's exactly 15 levels higher because there are tiers 1 to 16 maps on the Atlas. 16 on this nice, easy, simple Atlas is at the top. T16 up there, 15, 14, 13, 3, 2, 1. And we start at the bottom, so we're just going to work our way up and explore. And get missions for various NPCs on the way. Should be fun. We can do it from here, it looks like, which is quite new. There's less sodding about now. It used to have to go to Oriath Square before Cirrus and I destroyed it, and then you would sort of go running around and discover the Atlas and various things. But now it seems we just come here because Zana, our previous helper, who we saw an image of briefly in our hideout, she has mysteriously fucked off, leaving Kirak in charge with his nice map table, which we have one of as well in our hideout. So yeah, so that's fine. Yeah, good. So I think that's fine. I don't know what I'm going to do with this passive point yet. I think I will decide next time. But I think we can declare this pretty much done when it comes to campaign content. You know, we've still got plenty to do. I mean, this is barely the start of the season. We have now played for 1 day, 1 hour and 27 minutes, so 25 and a half hours, in other words. And for some streamers, that's 4 hours. 4 hours. So first night, start at 11 PM, they'll have got to where we just are. I wish I knew how they did that. I don't. Well, I do. They're ludicrously efficient, and they have the game memorized. You know, or they do meticulous planning, but either way. But yeah, so we got some maps. You've got to experience the campaign. I don't know if you're stuck with me minute by minute. Not sure I would, but if you have, congratulations, achievement unlocked. If you didn't, congratulations, achievement for not being insane unlocked. And yeah, let's play some more game. That was that. Join me in future videos, if you like, assuming I make some, for the further adventures of 7-Gun Jack, and hopefully he'll actually get 7 guns rather than 5. Anything could happen. In the meantime, we're done here, so cheery bye.